PTPro. So if you can recall from our categories video, we had our syllabus and we had our plan for how the different assignments within the class were going to be weighted, and we divided them into homework, formative assessments, and participation, summative assessments, and final exam. Okay, so now we're going to just set up that calculation within PowerSchool. As you can see, we have our categories here, and they are going to be used in the final grade calculation. So to do this, we need to go to the settings, okay, go to traditional grade calculation, and this is going to be a list of all the classes I have for this summer term S1. And for every one of these, we have to set up how the grade will be calculated, and we have to enter um, the calculation type, or the category, the grade calculation type. Okay, so if you're using total points, of course, you can keep total points here, and and there's no changes that would need to be done. Just save it, and you're all set. But we're using categories, so we're going to use category weighting here. Okay, so next is going to allow me to enter an attribute. And the attribute just means which category. And for this one, I'm going to do homework first because that's what's on our syllabus, and it's 30% of the grade. So the weight is 30. It is also equivalently okay to put 0.3. So if you use the decimal, all the decimals have to add up to 1. Or if you're just using percentage, you have all the percentages have to add up to 100. But we're going to use percent, so 30. Okay, so that's my first category. I'm going to add another. Okay, so this is going to be category weighting also. You have to select that now. Next was the formative assessments, I believe, yes. And that's 15% of the grade. So I'm going to do 15. Okay. Next, another category weight. Let's see, is going to be the summative assessment, which is going to be 30%. Okay. And next and finally, the final exam is going to be 25%. Okay. Now, these should match if you have done it correctly. You're going to have 30%, 15, 30, or 25%. So I want to show you with the decimals what it's going to look like. 30.3, 0.15, 0.3, 0.25. Okay, it's the same thing, right? As the percentages, and it's totally okay and acceptable to enter the decimal or use the percentage of 100. Okay. If you want to drop a low test score for your class, you can do that through this particular portion of the grade calculation setup. You can drop the lowest overall. A number of scores to drop is 1, or you can do it by category. And let's say I want to just drop the lowest summative test so that their lowest unit test will be dropped. And of course, you can uh, choose however you want it. For right now, I'm not going to. Oh, I'll just save it. Okay. So now what do we have to do in Power School is save, right? Okay. So once that is saved, okay, we have, if I click on that edit button again, I can see that that is going to be the grade calculation, right? Okay. Now, if I click on this one, there's nothing there because I didn't, the default is always going to be total points and 100%, right? So this class, again, total point, it's going to be the default, right? Let's say I have lots of classes and I don't want to do, it's just too time consuming to do that for, the categories for every single class. Plus I have more than 4 categories, right? So we can copy the traditional grade calculation to another class. And so to another class, the term is going to be the same term, and the class is going to be the second class, right? Oh, this is from, okay. So this is the class that I set it up for, and that's now I want to copy that from to this other class here, okay. All right. So we have selected the class we want to copy from and which class we want, or classes. You can select multiple classes to copy that setup to. I also want to note here, you can go and copy the setup from previous um, semesters as well. You just want to be careful with that because unless you're being consistent with your categories every year, you could have used some of the categories um, that are no longer active for this term. And so you just want to be careful with that, right? Okay, so now I'm going to do validate. For recalculate final grade. This is just going to recalculate the grade, and that's okay. It's just whatever grades they have in there now, it's just going to recalculate it with this new calculation. So let's validate. Okay, there's going to be a message here that you're unable to copy standard weights. You don't have access. And please ignore that because we're not copying standard weights. We're copying traditional weighting, and this doesn't apply to us. Okay. So let's go ahead and select copy. And once I click here and edit, I can see that those settings were copied, including the drop the lowest score. Uh, that's the original, okay? So, and if we look at the health and wellness, which we just kept that at 100 points, okay? So that's how you set up your grade calculations for final grade calculations in Power School, the Power Teacher Pro grade book. Again, if you have any questions, just reach out to me.